Gas-powered airsoft replicas are just fun on a different level for me. Those are not about maximum performance or top accuracy for me, it's a lot more about the feeling, the sound and all the mechanical parts working together. Unfortunately, playing on gas is not the most affordable playstyle you can think of, considering the prices for one single green gas can that can be between 8 and 15 bucks each. But, as some of you probably already know, there is a much cheaper way to use your gas-powered replicas, which is using propane from your local hardware store. You want to learn more about the differences between original airsoft gas and everyday use propane? Stay tuned. First things first. Airsoft green gas and propane are basically the same. Some manufacturers add special odorants or additives for better winter usage, calling them red or black gas then. But the typical chemical base for airsoft gas still is propane, which you can get a lot cheaper actually. This 5 kilogram canister, for example, costed me only 13 euros, which is what I usually would pay for two 750 milliliter cans of airsoft gas. In order to fill your airsoft mags or grenades with propane right at the airsoft field, you will need some smaller containers for transport and special filling adapters. Nowadays, in 2026, you won't need to refill your old Coleman propane tanks anymore that were meant to be filled only once originally. Those two systems here are a lot easier to use. Let me show you how they work. The US style system is my personal favorite, as it comes closest to the way of handling typical green gas cans. You will need a portable propane tank such as this one by manufacturer Flame King, which will hold up to 14 ounces or 0.4 liters of propane. On top, a filling adapter from your big to your small tank will be necessary, as well as a filling adapter for the magazines. For example, this old school one by Bull. In my special case, as I am based in Europe, I need an additional adapter between the EU canister thread to the filling adapter for the Flame King tank, which I think you can ignore when living in the US or other countries using those kinda thick threads as a standard. Before starting the filling process of your small tank, make sure to wear proper gloves, as the spilled propane can cause serious cold burns on your skin. Really, it does hurt. Then, pick your large canister of cheap propane and hang it upside down. This way you make sure the propane will flow down into your smaller tank by the magic of gravity. Afterwards, you can install the EU to US adapter if needed, and then the small tank filling adapter. This one has a simple shut-off valve on it, making the filling even easier. The cool thing about those refillable tanks is they have their own bleeding mechanism, which helps you getting unnecessary air out of the system. Unlike the old Coleman tank filling procedure, you don't need a significant temperature difference between the two canisters anymore. Both the small and the big tank can be equally warm or cold during the filling process. So, after installing the small bottle to the filling adapter, you would want to open the valves on the big tank and on the filling adapter. As soon as you open the bleeding valve on the small tank by using the small included Allen key, and you hear the slight hissing, the filling process begins. This usually can take 30 seconds up to 2 minutes, depending on how full your small tank already is and how far your bleeding valve actually is opened. As soon as you see liquid propane coming out of the bleeding valve, it looks like regular steam actually, close the bleeding valve immediately. Now your small tank is completely filled. The last thing you have to do is to install your magazine fitting adapter to the Flame King tank. Now you are basically ready to fill your airsoft mags, just as you would do with a regular green gas can. The European system is based on the exact same principle, while the main difference to the US system is the used threads. Here we don't find the traditional Coleman style threads, Instead, there are those smaller ones which are used for camping propane cartridges you can buy in Europe. This set by Gardinger comes with the tank itself, holding approximately half a liter or 15 ounces of propane, as well as a hose and a set of quick connectors. The only thing you would have to buy extra are the propane filling adapters for the mags. I tried those by Gardinger and by Soto. Finding the adapter by Soto is a lot more reliable in terms of proper sealing. The necessary steps for preparation are very similar to the US system. First, install the big tank to quick connector adapter, then comes the hose. Now connect the Gardinger bottle to the hose and open the two main valves, and the bleeding valve afterwards, which works without any additional tool in this case. Once you see liquid propane leaving the bleeding valve, it's time to close it and the respective other valves. Attention! When removing the hose from one of the two tanks, it will still be under pressure, as there is no way to bleed it before disconnecting, so quite a lot of propane will come out. Make sure not to get it on your hands. The mag filling adapter can be installed both to one end of the hose or directly to the tank in a 90 degrees angle. I personally found it more convenient to use the hose for this, but in the end this depends on your personal preference. When it comes to filling your mags or grenades from your small propane tanks, both systems work almost identically. This is why I only use the US Flame King bottle here. As I said, I find it more comfortable after all, and even have sold the Gardinger set in the meantime since I recorded this footage. Before filling your magazine, make sure to add a small drop of silicone oil to the designated opening in the adapter, or directly into the adapter in case you use another than the Mad Bull adapter. You do so because propane, other than Airsoft green gas, has no lubricants in it, and you would want at least a little of those to maintain the O-rings and seals inside your magazine for a longer lifespan. Now, when it comes to filling the mags, not every mag is constructed the same way. We have mags with single-stage infill valves and those with double-stage infill valves. Nowadays, I think most of the magazines are equipped with single-stage valves. This means those mags do not bleed unnecessary air out of the system, as our tanks did when they pushed out liquid propane when they were completely filled, you remember? So, for those mags, we still need a temperature difference to fill them properly. The mag has to be colder than the filling bottle, let's say at least 5 degrees Celsius less. On this one, the mag is even warmer than the filling bottle, which means there will be not a lot of propane going inside the magazine. Let's see how many shots we will get out of this mag, which has been way too warm to be filled properly. Now it's empty. 35 shots. Now let's do the exact same filling procedure with the mag being a little colder than the filling bottle. It has been placed in the fridge for about 10 minutes before. Although it might be a little annoying to take care for this temperature difference, single-stage valves still have one major advantage. It's almost impossible to fill too much gas inside the mag with those. Joseph from Northridge made a very informative video on this topic. I'll try to link it somewhere over here so you can check it out. (108, 109, something like this. In case you don't want to care about temperature differences, you still can install dual-stage infill valves to most of the mags on the market. For those SSX23 mags, for example, the ICS Revo valves will fit. For other threadings, you will need different valve sizes. You can try Tokyo Marui valves, for instance. as those are dual-stage valves as well. Sometimes there are also hybrid valves pre-installed. Check the area where the tank's nozzle aligns with the valve. If there is an O-ring and your valve has some kind of a venting hole inside the body, you can transform your single-stage valve to a dual-stage valve, simply by removing this O-ring. Easy as that. You see, there is no temperature difference between mag and bottle this time. But when filling the mag, you hear the same slight hissing as before when we filled the small bottles from the larger tanks. That is because it's the very same principle behind it. We are pushing out unnecessary air until liquid gas comes out. This way we can also increase the usable gas capacity of the mag a little. Actually, the magazine is a little overfilled now, which could increase the risk of cooldown, especially on a GBB replica, because with the first shots, liquid propane would come out of the outlet valve. In case of the NBB in this test, it's not that critical, but you should make sure to stop filling about 5 seconds earlier before the liquid propane spills out. It will need some practice, but you will learn it by time. $140. Well, 150. I think gas is empty now. Yeah. 100, let's say 140 we will get with the ICS, self-venting valve ICS, Revo valve. So, now let's check the energy on the magazine filled with green gas. It's shot at room temperature, approximately a little bit higher, maybe even 25.3 degrees Celsius, 0.32 gram BBs. .8. 0.9, 0.8, you get an idea. So this is on the green gas. Okay, now let's check the energy of the propane filled mag, which is at 26 degrees. Yeah, let's see how it will do in comparison to the green gas mag. So, .05, 0.9, almost 1 actually. Again, almost 1. Quite consistent. The results speak for themselves. It's basically the same as green gas.
Some people say pure propane is a little better for winter GBB playing than green gas. I always thought this is kinda weird, as green gas basically is propane with some minor additives. First, I wanted to see if there's any difference in terms of internal pressure inside the storage containers. This green gas can says at room temperature it is supposed to bring up approximately 130 to 135 psi. But we have to take into consideration that this can is almost empty and has just enough gas for 1 or 2 max. The pressure gauge, however, says it is only at slightly above 100 psi. The only explanation I have for this is that it is almost empty, or the green gas package tells some fairy tales. However, this propane can is almost full, but PSI seems to be even a little lower on this one. That finding underlines my personal experience from the previous months. Pure propane seems to generate a little less pressure compared to green gas,
This is why I think correct filling of the mags, as I showed you before, is even more important than on green gas. Those PP2K mags have been cooled down to almost 0 degrees Celsius. They are equipped with single-stage valves, so they won't be overfilled in theory. Both of the gas bottles are at room temperature. For your better understanding, the mag filled with hardware store propane is marked with some tape in the lower section. Now let's go outside and see which mag will have a cooldown faster. I picked some pretty hard conditions for this test. Shooting the PP2K by Modify, not really being known for good gas efficiency, in mid-December at about 5 degrees Celsius outside. Actually, not the way you would want to play GBB Airsoft. Besides those few BBs that just dropped off because my hop-up configuration on this replica is not finished yet, the green gas mag performed extremely well in my eyes. I did not expect this result, but now I'm curious for the propane mag. Okay, we have a cooldown here. But I'm not satisfied with all those dropped off BBs. Although they do not really have an impact on cooldown and gas efficiency, let's give it a second try. Again, the result is not as good as on the green gas mag. But at least it went down to minus 8 degrees Celsius before completely blowing off. That's kinda impressive. Just to make sure it is not the magazine's fault that causes the cooldown, I shoot a preheated mag, which is at almost 30 degrees Celsius now. Summer temperature, basically. Yep, no problem here. That makes it clear for me. Propane should be completely fine in spring to summer, but in winter you probably should stick to red gas, black gas or CO2, if those are available to you. So, what can I tell you about using propane for gas-powered airsoft replicas? Is it a recommendation, or should you better avoid it? My point of view is the following. If you are playing on gas only from spring to fall and want to save some money in the long run, while having other more reliable systems such as AEGs or HPAs at hand, I think you should go for it. When I think about the amount of money I could have saved if I had bought the propane setup right from the start, well, I probably could afford some more BBs right now. But if you want to play your GBB replica all year round, thinking about maximum performance and, that's most important, reliability, following my experience, red gas or black gas might be still the better option as soon as temperatures drop. And yes, I did not forget about the HPA tapping option, remembering all the previous comments on this topic. Sure, if you are fine with the hose hanging from your replica, this for sure is an even better way to go in terms of reliability. Now it once again is your turn. What is your preferred way of fueling your gas-powered airsoft replica? Did I miss something important out in this overview? The community benefits from every single comment, so feel free to tell us your opinion. I am looking forward to see you in the next Rummbolt Airsoft video. So long, have a good one.